I'm loving this whole bloodline stuff, heel rock and everything, but the one major flaw in it that, I don't know, I think it's an unintentional effect of Hollywood Rock being back, is that if I was a casual fan and I didn't know any better, I would think that the main event for Mania was Cody versus Rock. And I wouldn't even know that Roman was involved. Like, oh, Roman's the champion? And, oh, Roman is the main event with Cody? You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like Roman is way in the background here, and they're more focusing on the Cody versus Rock storyline. I don't know. I don't know if it's a consequence that they meant to happen, but I don't think they did.
Yeah, I was listening to the Jim Cornette's podcast, and the guy that co-hosted with him, he kind of said the same thing, that it looks like, the 99% of the focus is on The Rock, but The Rock is, bringing a good rating to Raw every week, SmackDown every week. I think there's only been, two face-to-face, just Cody and Roman since the Royal Rumble.
I assume there'll be a contract signing, and that'll be like their final face-to-face. So maybe do like another 2-on-2, maybe like on Monday, and then do a final face-to-face with Rock and Roman alone on Friday, maybe something like that.
Since The Rock is going away in May, I think, I don't know if I see this ending with anything but The Rock being in on it with Cody, and they screw Roman out of the title, and The Rock goes back to being a babyface, and then he goes away. I'm trying to come up with something where that doesn't happen and The Rock stays heel, but I don't know.
So if Rock is on it with Cody will have to say something like, yeah, the beatdown it had to be real. It had to look good. So I had Rock do what he did. I don't know. I don't know if I like the whole idea of Rock being in cahoots with Cody, because it just makes Cody weak. Like, I get that last year he tried it one-on-one and Bloodline interfered, so the explanation would be, well, I learned my lesson and now it's a numbers game, then I can do a numbers game. And I get that, but like, does Rock really need to help Cody win the belt? So I don't know. We'll see. I still don't know what's going to happen. I mean, at this point, they're pouring the Bloodline rules match down our throats, which is almost like now it has to happen. Not like the heels have to win on night one, because now we need to see what Bloodline rules is on Sunday.
And the other thing I was thinking is, with the whole John Cena thing and the truck and all that, I'm thinking night 2 is going to be Bloodline rules, and the odds are stacked against Cody, and maybe Seth is hurt, Cody's Zayn is hurt, whatever. Something happens, they're not there, and it ends up being Cena, Taker, and Austin backing up Cody, and on the orders of Triple H, maybe, he'll say something about, Bloodline rules. Well, the game rules over the Bloodline, something like that. And they'll end up being Taker, Austin, and John Cena. Also, if The Rock stayed heel, I just thought of this, you could always have him just be honest. It's more heat. Look, I'm going away. I have a movie to make. I'm a big star. It's like, it's been fun, but I trust you guys to keep everything in line while the final boss is gone. And maybe he introduces Tama or Jacob. It's like, while I'm gone, here's another member of the family, kind of thing.
Somebody created some fan art that's pretty cool looking. It's got, on one side, it's got Rock facing Cody, and Rock is kind of handing the belt to Cody, and on Cody's side is Seth, with Jay kind of hugging Jimmy as if he pulled him out of the bloodline. And then it's got Cena and Austin behind him. And on the Rock side, it's Heyman looking sad with Reigns on his knees kind of begging, kind of like depressed, and Solo knocked out. So it's almost like those guys, they don't necessarily beat up Roman. I'm thinking to book it on Sunday. They don't necessarily fuck Roman, but everybody interferes against the other side. So just to eliminate them. So like Jay, eliminates Jimmy. So, you could have Cena eliminate somebody, I guess Solo again. And then Austin could maybe stun Heyman. I don't know. You can do a bunch of stuff. And then maybe that's when Rock just steps away and he's like, go ahead, guys, do your thing. So he doesn't necessarily turn on Roman, but he just doesn't help him. I don't know. You can do a million things with Bloodline rules, but anybody can get involved.
I have a feeling night 2 is going to be way overbooked, but that's not necessarily always bad. If it's done well, it's WrestleMania 40, so no better place to do it.
I still don't see the reason though why Rock needs to screw Roman if he's going to be a baby. Like, Rock he wouldn't need to fuck Roman over to take over the bloodline. They could just, like we talked about this before, he could just challenge him, have a match, and beat him. But to cost him the belt and the bloodline, it's a heel move. You know what I mean? It's a heel move against another heel. So that would turn, once he does that, it turns Roman into a babyface. He becomes a sympathetic. Like, he just got screwed by everybody he trusted. So I don't see the booking and Rock fucking Roman over, taking everything from him as a baby. Because baby Rock doesn't need to do that. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like, it's tricky how you want to book this. I think just because of the history of the bloodline, because of all the interference that happens in Roman matches, whether it's Solo, whether it's Jimmy, or whether it was Jay in the past, I think it has to be overbooked. It can't just be another, here comes Solo interfering, and then that's it. Or, here comes, Heyman trips Cody. That's it. Somebody has to come neutralize Jimmy. Then Solo comes out. Somebody has to come neutralize Solo. And then, maybe Heyman tries to do something. Maybe hand Roman a chair or something. And then maybe Austin comes to neutralize him. So it's like, it has to be, and then if Rock hasn't turned on him yet from Saturday, somebody has to come neutralize. I think Austin will be the one to neutralize Rock. So it kind of, just by the nature of the beast, it has to be overbooked, no?
I mean, once they said bloodline rules, I'm like, okay, I see what's going to happen here. I'm still leaning that this happens where bloodline rules happens. So, who eats the pin? I mean, that brings us back to discussing that match. And I came up with the idea of Seth gets taken out of the match, and this all kinds of... Dude, Saturday and Sunday are going to be overbooked. I don't care. Do it. Book all this shit. But what if Rock and Austin and whatever... Austin and Taker and Cena, they're not involved. They do something else on night 1 or whatever. So what if the final player is Lesnar? He returns. He has history with everybody involved.
I can see that happening, and then Rock trying to play his TKO card. I didn't approve this kind of shit. And then Triple H says, well, you're not running things, I am. I told you before. I'm in charge. You might be in the TKO board, but I'm in charge here. So Triple H allows it. Yeah, I mean that could happen. I was thinking that if somebody takes out Seth, Jay gets put in, like because Jay's already got history there. Because he already said he's got his back, twice already. So I was thinking Jay, but I don't know. There's like so much shit going on, and they're also teasing the whole. I think they're teasing the whole. Can Cody trust Seth thing to throw us off? That I think that's the Trojan horse. That's not. That's not real. Like they're just doing that to add another layer to get us thinking away from what's going to happen. I don't think like we talked about this before. I don't think Seth's going to turn now. He'll turn later.
What if Lesnar comes back and he actually sides with The Rock, and The Rock kind of pushes Lesnar back onto Heyman? It's like, yep, you're the advocate. Heyman's, Lesnar's with us now. He's on our side, and it causes a problem. What if Roman doesn't go away? He actually stays, and now he's not the tribal chief anymore. And Lesnar's kind of in the spot, but man, that would be interesting. Now we're talking some crazy shit.
Yeah, now we're getting into the weeds. I mean, we have so much booking dependent on whether or not Roman is staying, or he's taking the rumored break until SummerSlam. And when he does take the break, is he coming back as a baby? Like, there's so much dependent booking. Is Seth is supposed to take time off, so we know he's dropping the belt to Drew. That's happening. So, yeah, what if when Lesnar comes back, Rock can say something like, I appointed him being a board member. He could even say that we cleared him of any, he doesn't even have to mention the lawsuit. But just say he was cleared of any wrongdoing, and just leave it at that, and then just he's back. But somebody, I don't know if it was on, I don't know where I saw it, but somebody was commenting about how that plan to get Cody alone on SmackDown was Heyman's idea, and how Roman screwed it up. But he set it up where Solo and Jimmy were there, but then Cody already had it in his mind that he was going to get turned on, so he brought Jay and Seth. But somebody back, I think it was WWE Digital, actually, it might have been WWE on X. They posted the video of them walking back through Gorilla, and Heyman was looking so pissed off. And they themselves said, was Heyman pissed off because the plan didn't work? Or was Heyman pissed off because Roman fucked up his plan? This was Heyman's plan and Roman fucked it up. So I don't know what to make of that one.
As a side note, I think CM Punk is going to accidentally cost Rollins the match, and Drew wins the title.
Accidentally or accidentally on purpose? I think he's going to try to screw Drew, and he's going to accidentally, on accident, not accidentally on purpose, but on accident, cost Seth the belt. But it'll be one of those accidents that he'll feel bad about, but not really. You know what I mean? Like he'll say I'm sorry maybe once, but then that's it. He'll be like, and then later on when Seth comes back, they can have a program, and then they could always swap sides where, Punk could say, you know what? No, looking back, I'm glad I cost you that fucking belt because you never wanted me back in the first place, so fuck you.
Oh, absolutely, all that. But I think they should just make it where it's a mystery of did he accidentally do it, or like you said, accidentally on purpose, and Punk doesn't answer, or he stays very vague as he's not ready to come back. So it's something, he goes away, and just the whole mystery of what was his intention keeps the storyline going. That's how you could draw this out all summer.
So we get through Mania. Rock is being all Hollywood Rock until Mania. And then whether or not he turns heel or whatever. Let's say he stays heel. And he keeps talking about, how The Rock talks in third person. He's always talking about being the final boss. So, the final boss has a message for you and blah, blah, blah. But what if this time he's actually not talking in third person, but he's talking about someone else? And the final boss that he keeps talking about ends up being Triple H. And he and Rock were in on everything. They planned everything together. And Triple H could always say that he never forgot about the throne incident, and payback's a bitch.
In that scenario where Triple H is actually working with The Rock, he becomes a heel authority figure again. So in that scenario, Cody loses again. And then if he does, then who would ever take him seriously as a challenger? They wasted 2 years on the storyline, and Cody loses.
I totally understand your logic, but that's the same thing that people can think now. Oh, Cody needs Rock's help to overthrow Roman. If Rock ends up turning on Roman. It was just like my thinking of the other night. Like, why does Rock need to screw Roman? Why can't he just fight him? You know what I'm saying? So with any of these scenarios, somebody looks weak.